The views and opinions expressed in the Golden Boot podcast are those of the speaker and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of the Golden Boot podcast as a whole.
Y'all ready to get rolling? Quiet on the set. Hey, welcome back to another hot episode of HBCU Hour. It's your boy Pooh. I got my man Aunt Petty Murphy in the building. What's good with you, my boy?
What's up, bro?
Not me.
One of them days.
Not me. That's what's not up right now. Yeah. I just want to let y'all know WWE say the show tonight. Because I was in a good sleep and all I heard was, oh, what a slam. I got on up. So, wait a minute. Let me tell you how out of it I am. I woke up to 2 Monday night football games.
Yeah, they got me too. I thought I was tripping for a minute.
And I'm going to tell you how it must be Monday for everybody. Because I watched the Dolphins drive down the field. And to a fumble. 2 plays later, Will Levis throws a pick six to a lineman. Yeah. Monday is Monday. It's actually both games are tied 7-7 in the second quarter. 6:50 left in one and 7:17 left in the other. So, yeah. Yeah, if you like torture, Monday Night Football is on with some 3 not so good teams, or 2.5.
Are the Dolphins good? Or have they just played some bad teams?
So I'm gonna say 3 teams because, like in spades, it's like if you got 2 possums, they make 1. So I'm gonna say 3 bad teams.
I see what you're saying.
Because I don't know if Green Bay is. I don't know if Green Bay is decent. I don't know if the Dolphins are good because they only beat bad teams.
Yeah.
So anyway, but man, look, it's finally here. Celebration Bowl weekend.
Yeah, it's about that time.
It is. For some people, they got half the matchup right. I'm happy to say that both our guests tonight actually predicted at least the other half correctly. They saw it. I ain't gonna say I didn't see it. I just didn't think it was gonna happen, and it happened.
Yeah, I picked them to finish second. I just didn't think that they would get over that hump that is North Carolina Central. But not only did they get over that hump, they did it convincingly.
Yeah. I would no college football playoff committee to get that wrong. They got that right. So, you know what I'm saying? Big shout out to them. Left it all on the field. I tell you what, I ain't gonna say who my team I had picked to finish second. I don't know. They did finish second from the bottom in offense. But we can go ahead and get rolling, man. Give a shout out to our sponsors over at betonline.ag. We'll be back in 1 minute. BetOnline.ag is your number one source for all your sports information, stats, news, and scores. Get the latest odds, lines, and player injury reports for this year's NBA and NHL playoffs. BetOnline is always your sports information headquarters. This season, we have you covered for all your sports wagering needs. We have everything from NBA, NFL, MLB, and NHL to golf, tennis, UFC, and boxing. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to get your betting info, including live betting options and your favorite casino and card games that you can play right from your home. Head on over to betonline.ag today or use your mobile device to get in on the action. Be sure to use the promo code BLEAV to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, where the game starts. Oh, we definitely got to welcome back. Welcome back the MEAC champ. Ain't no co. Miss Erica Lee. And joining them, I had to update this graphic. This man added about 18 different titles since we last had him on. Last time we had him on, it was just lead scout. Actually, it was just scout. We got lead scout. We got scouting assistant for the Shrine Bowl. We got the Aeneas Williams and Thorpe Award, voter. And last but certainly not least, we got the linebacker and special teams coach for Lincoln University in PA, them Lions. Welcome back to HBCU Hour, lady and gentlemen.
What's going on, y'all?
Hi,
much, man. How y'all doing?
Address me as MEAC champ, please. Celebration Bowl champ.
Right.
Okay.
Talk your talk.
We called it.
Yeah. This is I do want to start there. Many didn't see it. So I want to ask Erica. I'm not even going to ask from a Howard point of view. G, what did you see in Howard at the beginning of the season that made you think that, hey, you know what, this is the team that's going to get it done?
I have faith. I have faith in Q Will. I just have faith this is going to be the year, his best year. He's going to find a way to put it together. And I saw, not only did I see Aneem Donkwa, Darius Fox, Deshaun Ingram, there was a newbie on the block who's the same size as Donkwa, and he might end up being better. Like, the kid is built like Trent Williams. Like, that O-line upper body, the lower body looked like a receiver, kind of tight end. He's built very well, very nimble, strong punch. I love him. That's Weatherspoon. So once I saw that, and then I saw those running backs in person, I was like, okay, Jared Hunter, he's built. He's not small, he's compact, you know what I mean? And then when I saw Eden, I was like, okay, I already knew. Eden was fun. Then it's another one. So that's it's three guys. Ian Willer, who is also one of the best kick returners in the FCS. And he might be one of the fastest guys in the FCS. He's really fast. Texas fast. You're pretty fast down there. So between all that, and then I just have faith in Kenny Gallup to make the jump. Brokenberg's coming back from injury. Jevin Jackson, who was like the energy, the soul of that team, from my perspective, he came back. That was huge. So between that, and then you got the two linebackers that came back, you got the two breakout years. I just saw Ray Williams and Ronald Jones. I saw them really they had a strong spring. I was sold. I was just like, as long as Q Will just doesn't blow it and just does what we know he can do, there's no way they're going to lose to me yet. No way.
I'm glad you said that, because I don't think everybody had that same faith in Q Will. By the looks on the bottom right face, not everybody had that same faith. But Erica, being a Howard faithful, at what point in the season did you feel like things had turned around?
I don't know if there was a particular point, because it was a little up and down, honestly. And I'll say this, Howard fans are realistic. We don't live in la la land on cloud nine about our team. We're very realistic, right? I think we all knew we had a shot to get to the Celebration Bowl, but we always knew that there were mitigating factors that could prevent it. And so that Northwestern loss we don't talk about good losses, right? But to see us be this close to taking that game against a Big Ten opponent was very encouraging.
Mhm.
That Hampton loss was demoralizing. I cannot emphasize that enough. The players looked down, the crowd was down. You know, I felt like it should be written in the coach's contract, must win game against Hampton. Tired of losing to them. And, you know, being up as much as we were in the third quarter, it really was an inexcusable loss. But then we had a feeling going into MEAC play that, you know, we had been battle tested. And so, you know, we didn't look great against Dell State. So everybody was calling us trash. But, you know, we get up for the big games. And I think that Central game had been circled. And I think everybody had put Central in the Celebration Bowl already. And it was very frustrating, I think, to our guys and to the fans that they were writing us off. And we see what the outcome of that was.
At what point did your belief in Q will change? And did you think that he could get it done?
y'all gonna have these gotcha questions tonight? Is that what it is?
I'm just not just you personally, but like as a fan base, because like we know he's been inconsistent at times, but he made the jump this year and played big in big moments, especially in MEAC play. So like, at what point did you kind of realize that he had made that jump and he was being who y'all thought he could be all along?
I don't know when that moment was. I think the crowning moment for me was when he ran the ball in for a score against Morgan, like tucked it in and ran. Like all of us were like, oh, we couldn't believe it. But he's played a pretty clean brand of football this year. I mean, we've had some, like there were some question mark throws, but every quarterback has those. You know, only 4 interceptions on the year. 2 of those were against Harvard, and that was, you know, probably our poorest outing of the season was against Harvard and Cambridge. But he's really done a good job, I think, of managing the games well. And he's given a lot of time. The offensive line gives him time. Q needs time. You give him 3-4 seconds in the pocket, he'll figure it out. But if he's rushed, it's a little bit of a different game. I think he's got more opportunities to take the ball when there's big gaps and he can run it. And he's done that a few times this season, not as much as I would have liked, but you know, he's got 3 running backs that can really get the job done. So he doesn't have to do that as much as as maybe we think he should.
I want to apologize to everybody listening. If y'all hear singing in the background, it's the holiday season, and Dylan realizes that, and so he has started calling for all Christmas songs on Alexa. But we do got a message for Erica. Said, thank you, HU, for not making Aggies have to hear about the Negro school in Durham, North Carolina all December.
Gee, that's your frat brother.
Come on, dog.
That was woo. So we are here. We talked about it. Is literally it's Celebration Bowl week. Erica, tell us about this excitement, because I'm gonna be honest with you. I know people are excited, but we're not necessarily seeing a lot of it. So tell us about, like, I guess you could say the excitement, the feeling around Howard, everything going forward.
You know, I've seen a lot of talk about how people don't think Howard is excited to be going to the Celebration Bowl. And part of me thinks it's because a lot of people don't interact with Howard people. If you're looking for that same social media sports presence that you see from the SWAC or Central or the Aggies, that's not us. But amongst us, you know, everybody's got their flights, everybody's got their tickets, it's all anybody can talk about. There's a lot of excitement. You know, everybody's really, you know, gearing up to go down and cheer the team. And I think we've sold quite a few tickets. I don't think we've sold as many as FAMU, but I think we'll have a very big crowd there. I think we'll surprise a lot of people. And I think with how the team is playing, there's going to be some upset rattlers come Saturday at 4:00.
G, tell us your side of things. Because I mean, you kind of come into this unbiased. And I knew he was gonna say that. Doc said about 14.
Agreed.
They are 7-point underdog, which I think people should definitely take the spread. Or I would go money line, but that's just me. This perspective. Just me.
Now, Mr. Crowley asked a good question, Eric. Said, how big is y'all's alumni base in Atlanta?
Thousands.
Yeah.
Literally thousands. They have a group chat with over 1,000 people in it, and that's not like everybody. It's thousands. We already sold out of the allotted amount of tickets that they gave us to sell through the Alumni Association and the athletic department. Like those have been gone for 2 weeks now. So I think people are, just because you don't hear us talking about it doesn't mean we're not talking about it. And it doesn't mean we're not showing up. So it's thousands of people in Atlanta and more coming from all over. And we're doing watch parties all over the country. All of our alumni associations are doing watch parties too.
Yeah. Edwin says, wait, Erica, you are an AKA? Yeah, she always got a pink up.
I absolutely am. Shout out to the girls.
All right, let's talk about I want to talk about events surrounding the game, just outside of the game, alumni mixers, the day party with HBCU Nightly. Can you tell us a little bit about that? Yeah,
so everyone talks about Howard and our partying. We get an A++ in that. So we have events from Wednesday until Sunday evening for the Celebration Bowl, which, I've only ever been to one Celebration Bowl, and that was last year. And I didn't really see a lot of events, but we have alumni sponsored events. We have our receptions, our brunches, our happy hours, the games. And then other folks, Howard affiliated DJs are throwing parties. Howard affiliated alumni are throwing parties. So there's no shortage of events going on the Howard side. I assume the FAMU side is the same, but I haven't really seen much. But I don't know a lot of Rattlers. But from our side, we have literally events from Wednesday through Sunday evening. And the game, of course, is the centerpiece. And then for HBCU Nightly, which I co-host, we're throwing our modern day day party right after the game at Slush ATL. And I can put the link in the chat. It's right after the game. So we'll be headed over there, celebrate a Howard victory, of course. $20, and we'll have a DJ and slushies, a Bison slushie, a Rattler slushie, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And for those that want to meet a lot of the HBCU sports media folks, they'll all be there with us on Saturday after the game. So I hope to see y'all there.
Yeah. Unfortunately, you won't be seeing me. I got to be a dad this weekend. So Unfortunately. But G, I do want to talk about this because this comment brings up a good point. People undermine giving a team over 2 weeks to prepare for you. Jackson State overlooked that twice. It's been the argument from SWAC fans a lot about having the MEAC having an extra week and stuff like that. Let me ask this question.
Oh boy.
Not even about the extra time.
Okay, there we go.
Because I think that's kind of a cry. To be honest with you, FAMU has had extra time. It's just been split.
They've had extra time because they haven't played anybody.
Well, that's a scheduling thing.
Yeah.
Can Morehouse beat Lincoln, California? Maybe. He try to be messy.
But G, let me ask this question. The matchup, as you as you mentioned, 7-point favorite for or 7-point spread right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm be honest, I've said this several times. I'm getting 2021 vibes. Where it's a 11-1 SWAC team coming in that seemed to be highly favored. A 6-5 MEAC team coming in. That's good. That is one who people didn't think would be your champion. But they've come in, they've won, and now people are looking at them like, I don't think they should be there.
Well, I don't know why people don't think they should be there. They won
Who said that?
They won the right games. They won the games that they were supposed to win. I mean, granted, everybody was upset at the South Carolina State game. No one's more upset than me. I went in the chat losing my mind. Oh, I was mad. I was so mad. But even they knew they messed up. That was just end of the day. I'm putting 9 to 10 in the box, and I'm forcing Corey Field to throw the ball.
He had 2 complete passes the whole game.
Yeah.
Even Buddy Pugh thought they was gonna get run out of there. So
yeah, I'm not letting Howell do that to me personally. Someone else will have to score. But outside of that, they won the game they were supposed to win. And call a spade. From the vibe I got, they marked that Central game off. They marked that off early. They said this is the one. This is gonna be the one. That was a game they put all 3 units together. Every unit played very well for the most part. And they just got up for them. And matchup-wise, Howard matches up very well. Like, I don't think FAMU's defense has seen an offense like this that will just physically just beat you up. And, you know, I guess it's a Howard thing where people just attribute Howard to not being tough for whatever reason. Whatever. I get it. But end of the day, I got 6'7", 350 right here, 6'7", 320 over here. Both my guards are 6'2", about 300 pounds. Oh, yeah, I have a 6'4", 310-pound center as well. So they have guys that can neutralize a lot of fronts. If you watch the Northwestern game, they were getting the ball off. Eastern Michigan game, they had more yardage than Eastern Michigan. I think
more yardage and outscored in the second half if we hadn't given up 16 special teams points.
Well, yeah, that part. So it's just like the offense is fine. I don't think FAMU has seen anything like this. I just don't think and then the biggest part is, are you going to be able to tackle these running backs? Because, okay, Jared Hunter gets tired now, who I consider the power back of the team, Eden James. Then he comes in. Oh, okay. They're both a little tired. All right, so let's just throw the guy who might run a sub 4.4 in there. Hey, Ian Wheeler. So good luck. Oh, and then this freshman tight end just comes out of nowhere, and he's just looks amazing, because I thought Brandon Brown was going to be that guy, but this is a young tight number 26. He's amazing. So I want to see how he matches up against the linebackers. I'll probably give the linebackers a slight edge when that coverage aspect against the tight ends. Oh, then we got the best gadget player in HBCU football split out with Casey. Okay. Then, you know, it kind of fits Howard perfectly. I feel like they established his run game. Now Q Will gets into rhythm. Q Will is probably the best quarterback in the FCS. When he's in rhythm and he's comfortable, phenomenal. He's on point. So they can establish that run game, because they do have guys that can neutralize FAMU's front four. Because that's what you got to get through, is really Gentle Hunt. Because Gentle Hunt's going to wreck the game if you let him. So that's why I like to have Darius Fox and Deshaun Ingram in there to be able to double and work towards Isaiah Major and them. Because Isaiah Major, as tough as he is, he's not going to want to run into 6'7", 350 too often, or 6'2", 320 pounds too often. Eventually it's going to wear you down. So now on the flip side, FAMU's playmakers, they have playmakers. And Howard's going to run man because they trust their guys. I would trust Kenny Gallup right now too. But we all know receivers just seem to win those one-on-ones with DBs. So it's really going to come down who's going to get the one-on-one ball. Because Moose is going to put it up there. They're going to try and attack down the field. He works within the hash as well, but they're going to try and attack down the field. Marcus Riley going to have him a show, because Marcus Riley has shown that he can take over a game if he wanted to. In his career, he's shown that. And that jump ball is his thing. Not going to lie to you. I love his ball skills, and I love what he's able to do after the catch. Oh, and he's a kick returner too. So
is Riley bigger than Gallup?
Yeah, Riley's about 5'11", 6 foot, about $190. He looks bigger than that though. I didn't know he was that short. I thought he at least was 6'1", but 5'11" with cleats on is 6'1", so it's okay. But Gallup probably would end up. Gallup would probably end up covering like a Kamari Young at tight end, or he probably could cover. He might end up covering Sharif. They line him up in the slot, or Riley line him in the slot. But big thing is the slot corner for Howard. Carson Hinton is having a great year, his best year he's ever had, and he's going to be key too because he's going to have to get up and tackle these 6'2", 230-pound running backs that FAMU just keep running onto the field. I mean, the guys that may be the same size as FAMU's defensive ends. They're not too far off. I mean, I'm not FAMU defense. I don't know Howard's defensive line. Howard doesn't have a huge defensive line.
No.
They're just quick and they're strong. Brokenberg might be one of the strongest dudes in Black college football. So they have it. Everything's lined up to be a pretty even matchup. I just think it boils down to like everybody else probably gonna say, which Q Will you gonna get? Which Jeremy Musa you gonna get? Whoever brings the A game is gonna win. And if they both bring the A game, it's gonna boil down to who can stop the run. So that's how I view the whole game. Which quarterback you gonna get? Who gonna be able to establish the run? Oh, I'm sorry. Who gonna mess up on special teams? Because it's gonna happen. One play is gonna happen.
Don't stress me out.
It's gonna happen. One team's gonna do it.
Stress me out.
One team's gonna do it. I just want to know who's gonna be. It happens every year. Some on special teams happen in Celebration Bowl that flips the game. So we'll see. It's gonna happen. It's coming. I just
You can't be us. You know how I feel.
I know how you feel about the special teams, but you had your feelings about Q Will, but you love him now.
I don't know if I love him, but I apologize. I did apologize.
Fair enough.
I apologize. I think Q Will's play this year taught me that sometimes you don't need a flashy quarterback.
No.
And I think I'm looking for a stereotypical quarterback, the loud, strong leader on the field and in the locker room. The one that I know, that Hampton game, I just kept saying, down 1 with 3 minutes to go, he's not our guy. Like I just kept saying that because I was just so angry about how that all went down. But to see how he manages games and how he stays calm under pressure, and he's going to get you, 200 to 300 yards every game. And so, he's done his part. He hasn't had big mess ups, to be quite frank. He's done his part. So I had to reevaluate how I assess what a good quarterback is. And he's a good quarterback.
Gerald, let me ask you this. It felt weird even calling you by your name. G, let me ask you this. You talked about FAMU hadn't played a team like, as far as a unit like Howard. Let me ask, is there on both sides a comparison of teams that they have played that are similar? Like, is there a team that Howard has played that's similar to FAMU, or a team FAMU has played that's similar to Howard?
Ooh. Dang.
That's a hard one.
That is, because I don't think FAMU's defense is.
I understand they're not necessarily Morgan.
Like I get it stat wise, but there's a lot of layers. To that. There's so many layers to that. Nobody that played against Morgan was. I mean, no one that watches Morgan and FAM is just sitting there like, yeah, FAM's a better defense on tape. It's just no one can say that. Nobody can say it. I mean, they will, but Bowler and Morgan were my guys. I'm just waiting on those. Those are the guys. They was on the freak list and everything. Those are the guys that were supposed to just, and they just didn't have the year that I thought they would have. But then you got all the Howard having the best year of their career. Yeah. I guess defensive. I mean, I don't even know. I don't think FAMU. I guess the closest team,
Bama State.
Is Bama State Howard? No,
but
I'll
I
say
think that's
maybe,
probably the toughest D
maybe
they
Prairie
face.
View. Maybe Prairie View because of the wantingness to establish the run. They just don't have the personnel that Howard has, but Prairie View wants to establish the run, and they have a dual.
They have the size up front.
It's tough, dog. I'm not gonna lie. Maybe USF for FAMU. I mean, I'll just be honest with you. I mean, and Howard has played USF tough before, so I mean, I guess that's probably the best team that they probably equally look at USF game for Howard and FAM. I guess you could get an idea. I mean, it's pretty much the same roster for Howard from when they played against them last year. So, I mean, if you want to, I mean, honestly, it's really the same. Yeah, that's damn the same exact roster except for 1 and 2 people. So yeah, you watch the USF versus Howard game and watch the USF versus FAM game. They'll probably give you your best idea. I think Howard played USF a little tougher than FAMU did, but they established that run. Jared Hunter had one of his best games of his career versus USF.
Let's go there. FAMU has been reluctant to try to run the ball at times this year, whereas you see Howard obviously is going to rely on their 3-headed monster. Who do you think? Is it more important for Howard to establish the run or for FAMU to try to stop Howard from running the ball?
It's nothing like not being able to stop a team from running the rock. It just eventually you just wear down. Attrition sets in. Yeah. Like after the 50th run play, you're like, damn. I'm telling you, no, I don't. Even if Donkwa isn't the most explosive at times, he's still 350 pounds, man. Like you trying to push that guy backwards is tiring. I don't care how strong you think you are. Trying to push someone back that far for 60 plays is tough on any 3 tech that he's gonna wash down on, or any 5 technique that he's gonna try and hook or just wash you all the way to the sideline. It's a lot to set the edge against someone that big. And for interior wise, I just told you the guards and center are really good for Howard. So, but luckily, I love Gentle Hunt. He's my favorite interior D lineman outside of Jalen Bell from Tennessee State. Love Gentle Hunt. So we're gonna see. He's one that I'm concerned about because he's just dynamic. He's a game wrecker. He just doesn't get a lot of recognition. You know, he's a little undersized, but he's one that can literally wreck the game. But I would rather have Deshaun Ingram, you know, who I think is a really good center. I'd rather have him majority of the time blocking him. So I will say if FAMU can't stop the run, this Celebration Bowl is going to be a heartbreaker for people that it's nothing like getting ran the ball on, because Howard will run the ball 50 times if they can.
Yeah,
they will. Like you will have 50 yards passing, rushing touchdown from a quarterback sneak or something, and Jared Hunter have 100 yards. Eden have 80. Eden will.
But it's not even that. They'll have 50. They'll rush the ball 50 times, and Q Will's at least gonna get 175 in the air. So people ask, are we a rushing team or are we a passing team? And when you look at the stats, it's low key both.
Yeah, they're very balanced. They're more balanced. They're one of the more balanced teams. I mean, Central's probably the most balanced. The run game wasn't what it was supposed to be towards the end of the year with Central. For whatever reason. Well, they said that was injuries that came into play with that. But I think Howard's the most balanced that we have between the two teams.
Are they more balanced yardage wise or just play calling wise?
The yardage is pretty.
Yeah.
The yardage is pretty balanced every game.
I just know I'm taking Howard's 3-headed monster over FAMU's 3-headed monster. Gotcha. And I'm taking their O-line over O-line as well. But I think FAMU's D-line is better than Howard's D-line, but it's not like a big gap. But I just think that FAMU's more equipped to stop Howard's running game than Howard is to stop FAMU. If that makes any sense.
Yeah. Mr. Dukes asked this question: Does HU, and I had to no, never mind. I ain't gonna be petty tonight. I'm sorry, Erica. Does HU have more motivation to disprove the notion that they aren't a football school? Said, doesn't FAMU have more pressure not to lose since they are favored and have the better record?
I think the pressure's on FAMU.
Definitely.
The pressure's on us at all. We're not even supposed to be here, apparently.
Yeah.
So,
hashtag save the SWAC. Yeah, I do want to clear that when I say not supposed to be there, not saying y'all didn't deserve to win or anything, but a lot of people picked Central, and a lot of people felt like if Central's not there, then it's whoever from the SWAC goes is going to win it all. That was the notion for a long time. So
no, I mean, we see it. Everybody sees it. You know, I think you know, those of us who followed Howard football knew what it could be, and so you know, we're not shocked. Now, did I think we was gonna put 50 up on Central? No. But I wasn't shocked we won that game. And you'll recall on HBCU Nightly, I said, I don't think anybody's getting out of the MEAC unscathed. And I got laughed at. But I truly thought that Central would lose the game. And if it wasn't to us, they were going to lose to Morgan. But Morgan had nothing in the quarterback room. So there was nothing. No go. But I definitely think all the pressure is on FAMU. And they have, for whatever reason, they feel like to me, the outside looking in, they feel like they have to show that they are, you know, running the SWAC, you know, that those 2 Dion years with Jackson State were an aberration, you know, that they have the better program, they have the better personnel, that they should be, you know, kings of the SWAC in football and can bring the SWAC their second Celebration Bowl. So the pressure's on them. I don't think the pressure's on us. If there's any pressure at all, it's to show that, you know, the MEAC can win a Celebration Bowl with a team outside of the Carolinas, because we are the first team outside of the Carolinas to go. But other than that, I think that I don't sense that from the guys, and I don't sense that from our fan base either.
So, and it's funny because he asked that question, and I know it's hashtag say the SWAC, and that's been going around and people doing that, but I get a sense that people don't necessarily care because our friend Yarta say, baby, if Howard wins, I'm not going to shut up. And a lot of people have looked at FAMU the same way they kind of looked at Jackson State. Like, I'm not going to cheer for you just because you went to SWAC. So it's just interesting how people kind of.
I agree with that. It's wild to watch them all go back and forth. It's like,
it is.
For me, we have like a little bit of it, but then, you know, we'll go to happy hour or brunch after or something, you know, like, I feel like in the MEAC, whatever MEAC team goes is who we support. There's no back and forth about, you know, who it is and whether we like them or not. It's no, we're going to support our team, our conference. And so I think that's a very interesting difference between the two conferences.
It's a pride thing, man. MEAC is a better football conference. So we gotta keep establishing the dominance. I say we because I was born and raised MEAC, so I gotta say we when it comes down to it. And I pick Howard. I gotta stick to my pick. Man, I don't. This is nothing. I love FAMU. I would love FAMU if they weren't going against Howard, but they're going against Howard. I gotta pick Howard. Have to.
All right, G, I'm gonna ask you to put on one of your other hats. This might be one of your favorite parts tonight. Players to watch in this game.
Oh, so many. Oh, man. Well, I'll try and keep it short. Jared Hunter, because he's my favorite running back to watch. He's a true 3-down back. When you talk about contact balance, when you talk about maneuverability in between gaps, start and stop, ability to run somebody over if he can. He's a solid pass blocker, great receiver out the backfield. He's like, I just look forward to see what his decision is going to be moving forward when it comes. Like, I think he has like another year. Does he come running back with Howard again, or does he, you know, see if he can make it up to another level and see if he can produce on the next level? Maybe a G5 or something like that. So I'm just excited to see him put on the show. If you think what Mookie did last year was something, I'm telling you, Derek Hunter's going to show why he's the best running back in HBCU football this year. Who else? Casey Hawthorne, we talked about. Demetrius Witherspoon, right tackle. Deshaun Ingram, center, that I've been very high on. Of course, Aneem Donkwa, Darius Fox. Look out for Darian Brokenberg. They need somebody to wreck the game versus FAMU offensive line. This is the best offensive line that Willie Simmons had, in my opinion, since he's been there.
I got one for you.
Go ahead.
Ilaraza.
Oh, my little slot receiver.
Yes.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, I'll be forgetting about him sometimes. I feel bad
because he's a little underutilized. But
he
when it's time to get those third and shorts or third and like mid-range yardage, it's going to number 4.
He catches everything.
Yes.
Dang, that's a good one. Shoot. Dang. Well, I will say another one, Javon Morgan, because I was very high on him coming into the year. The safety from FAMU, number 2. Kendall Bowler. He needs to step it up. I expected a lot out of him this year, and I just need him to show up. Need him to show up and showcase that freakless ability that we've been waiting to see since this whole year, that we saw the past 2 years from him. Who else? Isaiah Major, of course. And, I know people have a lot of Wack was very upset about him winning Defensive Player of the Year.
I was just gonna ask you about that, because a lot of people probably, a lot of people, I think they discredit him because they felt like Bubba was snubbed, versus saying that he was deserving as well. So I was gonna ask about your thoughts on as far as like his style of play and
he's
him as a player.
He is for me. He's an odd front inside linebacker, preferably a jack linebacker, a guy that's comfortable with contact, offensive lineman, quick trigger versus the run, motor, sideline to sideline ability. I'll say he's a decent tackler. He'll miss some in space. The thing about Major, he's very aggressive, which could put offenses in a very interesting spot. So what you do against a guy like Major, you RPO him. You RPO those kind of backers that are very aggressive. But he's a guy that will knock your guard off his feet in the run game. You know what I mean? So, yeah, Howard's offensive line is big, but he's not scared to run into them. Now, I just would recommend he does it because he's only 6 foot, 230 pounds. But that was 230 when the season started. So who knows? He might be about 220 now, 225. So you just don't want to deal with that every play. But I do like him as a prospect right now. He's probably someone that you might bring into camp and see what happens. High special teams acumen just due to his motor size. And coverage, he's solid in the shallow zones. I wouldn't trust him to cover Jared Hunter out of the backfield for too many times. Eventually, Jared Hunter's going to break that one. So I wouldn't run too much man coverage versus Howard. That's just what I wouldn't run too much man coverage versus Howard. Definitely when they get into their trips formations, their doubles. Because all they're going to do once they see it, because they know those pass rushers are going to come, they're going to leak Jared Hunter out. Now you're going to put him in a situation with Isaiah Major one-on-one, and I'm going to take Hunter 9 times out of 10. But I do like him as a linebacker prospect. He's probably the best linebacker prospect coming out this year, HBCU-wise. It's between him and Lawrence Richardson right now for me. But he could be a game record too if you let him. So I just say if I'm going to go against FAMU's defense, I'm going to slow down those linebackers because they quick trigger. And once they see it, they go, and they have really good bursts, and they'll just destroy your run game if you let them. So you got to slow them up. You got to force FAMU's front 4 to be able to hold their own against the, let's say, 5 to 6, maybe 7 guys and maybe blocking them on a play and make the linebackers hold. And then if they shoot upfield, then hey, guess what you just do? Throw it right behind them. So that's what I would do against FAMU's defense, personally.
You muted, bro.
I wasn't saying nothing important, no way. E, how I guess from a fan perspective, what are some things that I say from a fan perspective? Let me not discredit you like you don't cover the game. My apologies. What are some things that you see in FAMU that may concern you just a little bit?
Be honest, E. Be honest.
I mean, Musa is a thrower. I mean, what did he have? Something like 340 attempts this year. Like, their wideouts are going to get our corners and safeties in one-on-one coverage, and I'm the big throws, the big catches, the big gains, those explosive plays is what concerns me, to be quite honest. So, we've handled it pretty good. I think when the quarterback from Norfolk State, I can't remember his name.
Otto Kuntz.
Yeah, him. I mean, Kenny Gallup had a game-saving interception that game, but he was kind of blowing us. He was blowing us to smithereens on some of those long pass plays. I understand that Musa can be a little bit inaccurate, but I mean that's going to be the challenge for the game, and I think I'm not as concerned about the run game for FAMU, but I am concerned about that passing game.
All right. Hey, he bad. This dude's asked some good questions. So I'm gonna go back with it. Who has the coaching advantage Saturday?
That's a good question.
I don't know.
We might find out Saturday.
Also, I just found out that Larry Scott's son is on the FAMU football team.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they did a big NBC Washington story on it yesterday.
I think he's a mass comm major or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, go ahead, E.
I mean, I'd like to give the nod to Scott, but sometimes I feel like he makes the wrong decisions at critical moments. So I'm really interested in seeing how aggressive his play calling is. There have been some instances where I felt like we should take the points, kick the field goal. We're 8 of 8 from field goals this season. We got kickers.
Yeah.
That Northwestern game, we went for it on 4th down twice when we could have kicked 2 field goals. We would have won the game. So I want to see what his decision making looks like in some of these more critical junctures if the game is tight. If we're up, he's gonna continue to press and we're gonna run away with it, right? But if the game is tight, if it's within one score, 3 points, 7 points, whatever, it'd be interesting to see what he does on some of those like those 4th and short calls or those 3rd and short or 3rd and long calls. I want to see what he does.
I think he got me thinking, but
I get frustrated sometimes.
Yeah, you got me thinking, but I guess I gotta just. I think personnel wise, I think currently Howard is better. Personnel wise, I think FAMU has the better. God dang, that's tough. I'm gonna give FAMU the coaching edge, but I'm gonna give the personnel edge to Howard. I think Howard has a better overall players on their football team, but I think that FAMU has like the slight coaching advantage. More, I want to say more on the defensive side. It's just because that South Carolina State game don't leave my head. It just doesn't leave my head.
But he righted the ship the next 2 games.
He did, and that's why it's like it's hard for me to really give him defensive coordinator to FAMU's defensive coordinator for Howard, because Howard's defense had to go against better competition.
I was just about to say that.
So yeah,
Who is FAMU really played though that would be a test like North Carolina Central?
yeah. So that brings the next question, and more battle tested. When you look at it, because FAMU's only, to my knowledge, FAMU has, as far as playing FCS competition, FAMU's only had one game that was kind of in question, realistically.
Was it Bama State?
No, I would say Southern.
Yeah, the Southern game. Yeah.
Southern, I forgot about Southern.
The Bama State game was close, but then like in the fourth quarter, it kind of
pulled away.
Yeah, kind of pulled away a little bit. Versus Howard has had, even if you throw in the FBS games, FAMU had the close game with USF, but Howard had a close game with Eastern Michigan, Northwestern. Then y'all had the games with Hampton. Well, you can go down the whole list pretty much.
I mean, Harvard was the best team we played all season. But they do everything right.
Yeah, I'm not going to disagree. Yeah,
they do everything right. Like, they weren't flashy, but they do everything right. Like, that's a fundamentally solid football team.
That's all it takes.
Yeah. And Edward Moore says, "Wow, you think Howard has more depth than FAMU?"
Definitely. Definitely. They rotate offensive linemen, and they don't miss a beat. Like, most teams don't do that.
Just wait till you see it, Edwin.
I mean, backfield loaded, and so I mean, no one's gonna say any backfield in the FCS is better than Howard's. I'm sorry. Now, the kid from South Dakota State, he's really good, but there's not three of him. You could literally, either one of those running backs at Howard could be a starter, but they're rotating them. Offensive line wise, they rotate their offensive line at Howard. Receiver depth, listen, I know Casey's highlighted the most, but there's like four other guys. They just don't. Sometimes they don't spread it as much as I would like from them to. They spread it more last year than this year, from my personal opinion. They have three tight ends I think are solid at Howard as well. Brennan Brown being your second option is good because he's one of the best tight ends in HBCU football coming into this year. So now we got the freshman. DB wise, when you have literally all your DBs can play man coverage, all of them. Every single last one of them can play man coverage, and they play it well. That's definitely me. And like, they have the option to play coverage, just drop back, drop 7, and play zone. But they have the ability, all of them, from your strong safety, your nickel, your free, and your two corners. Everybody can play man. Oh, and they all like to stop the run too. So there's that part. So it's like, I don't know. I mean, D-line wise, I'll give FAMU the edge on the rotation. But you can argue anywhere else, Howard got it. Oh, and tight end. I will give FAMU the tight end edge. I do like their two tight ends. I do. And they're big.
I don't think we utilize our tight ends as much as we could.
Nah, they don't. But the option is there. Maybe that's something that they'll try and take advantage of with those aggressive linebackers from FAM. You got another question? Ooh, yeah. Go ahead, brother.
I like Dukes. That's actually a very good friend of mine. Like he said.
Okay, got you.
All right. Dukes throws up. He says, if FAMU were to win, would the SWAC narrative be we won, or would the louder narrative be from MEAC? You had to leave the MEAC to get the Celebration Bowl.
That's such an act question.
It is. I don't. Oh God, what do I even say?
So I want to say this because this has come up a few times when people was talking about, saying, oh, FAMU came from the SWAC. I mean, came from the MEAC to take over the SWAC. But nobody talk about Bethune-Cookman.
Well,
Bethune is having a moment. Yeah. People are being respectful of that. I think.
I'm just saying, but
being but they have let FAMU run like rampant in the SWAC.
Yeah, I mean, they only lost 2 games in the SWAC.
Yeah, but they were picking. If I'm not mistaken, they were picking up before they left the MEAC. Weren't they getting?
We had that final season that was very good. But
So,
prior
so
to
they were
that,
gaining momentum. Yeah.
prior to that, it was the Aggie show, and then it was the Bethune-Cookman show.
Yeah.
You know, FAMU really hadn't made a stink since the early 2000s, to be quite frank.
Yeah.
So 20 years, this is their time, and you know, good for them.
Oh yeah, the ineligible, compliance, Well, that's no one's fault, but so
Their
it
own.
happens. I get it. MEAC Bowl, I mean, I'm not gonna take that from him. I mean,
No, I think it's great that they made it. Like
the SWAC
perform well. Like, good job. Like that's great.
the SWAC doesn't even claim FAMU, so I'm laughing to see how they're trying to claim them all of a sudden. They hate FAMU.
I don't think the SWAC will claim them at all.
Never. They never will.
I mean, I think I don't know if I can say the SWAC hate FAMU. I think the SWAC hated everybody until it's like that family reunion where, you know what I'm saying, everybody fight each other, get, you know what I'm saying, and then, you know what I'm saying, but you don't let nobody outside the family necessarily talk about you. But you know what I'm saying? But maybe I'm wrong.
FAMU's a cousin by marriage though. Not by blood.
Yeah, for real though.
You get rid of him.
It always feel like it's like a stepsister type. You know what I mean? Like a
Doc said we would never claim family.
Yeah. Like, it's
so I mean
you family adopt a cousin, bro. You know?
That's it.
I don't think it's like a great cultural fit just yet to me. I think and Will Davis just said it. He thinks FAMU was an outlier in the MEAC. I think I think FAMU was MEAC because they were in the MEAC for a nice chunk of change, a nice chunk of time. Mm-hmm. It's a team we know. It's a alumni base we know. It's athletics that we know, right? Like we know FAMU, and FAMU knows us, right? I think FAMU's adjustment into the SWAC has been, although they've won in football quite well. Men's basketball is terrible, but that's neither here nor there.
But they've picked up.
I think it's a great fit.
Yeah, they've picked up in other sports. So
you just mentioned the familiarity with me, these programs due to FAMU being in the MEAC recently. Does that play a part in this game, or do y'all think it plays a part, or do you think it doesn't really matter since these are two new teams?
I think for the alumni bases, it plays a part.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because we interact, and we've always interacted, right? And people forget before the demise of the MEAC, like when we were rocking towards that, we were at that 12-team space, when Savannah State and Winston-Salem and all of them were in the conference. Like that was a fun time in the MEAC. Like the rivalries were crazy, the games were rocking. People talk about Howard not being into football. I was in school during that time. Those games were packed. So, and FAMU traveled, like when FAMU would come, their side would be packed, right? So I definitely think it plays into the alumni base interaction because we know them as opposed to Prairie View, like not even shading. We don't know them. I think for the student athletes, there's only like 3 or 4, I think I counted, guys that are still from that last 2019 team that played FAMU the last time. And so Q Williams was one of those guys. You remember that was the Ron Prince year, or 3 months, right? And so terrible times, actually. So, there's only a couple of guys that remember or have interacted or experienced playing FAMU. So I'm hoping that they're talking to the guys, because the last time we played FAMU, we played at Bragg. And so they can kind of share what that experience was like.
Yeah, I'm looking here. I think this is the best comment. Roy Miriam says, "I'd rather be a stepsister with a Celebration Bowl win."
That's real.
They say we all family. And then she says that Erica said 2018 was Willie's first year. We were building. So
I mean, I made the point that FAMU came to Howard in 2018 and lost.
Yeah.
They did.
All right. Let's get here. Let's get here. Expectations for this game / predictions.
Ooh. All right, here we go. Let's just get this out the way. I expect a low-scoring game. I don't expect a high-scoring game. I expect this game to go very similar to the Howard versus Morgan game. I'm gonna be very honest with you. I think it's gonna be very similar. I think I know there's gonna be a special team something. I just don't know who it's gonna be, but it's gonna happen. It's either gonna be a block punt or a return. It's one of them. It's bound to happen. And I really do, believe it or not, I do expect Q Will to have the best game of his life. To be honest with you,
he's best when the lights are bright. I will say that.
He's a state champion, man. The kid's won before.
Multiple
times. I mean, technically, he won 2 straight MEAC championships, regardless of how people want to splice it. He did. He won twice in a row. And you know what? 21-17. That's actually wow. I'm not gonna lie. That's a good one. I can roll with that.
I was gonna say 24-17 Howard.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, I'm cool with the Yeah, I was around that, so I'm just gonna go with that because that's how I was feeling. Like it's not gonna be high scoring. It's gonna be like it's a good defensive football game, but that somebody's gonna break someone else. It's just gonna be something with special teams is gonna kill that game for the other team. I feel it. It's coming.
I need you to stop speaking it into existence.
It's not. I'm not saying it's gonna happen with Howard, but it's gonna happen.
I just don't want to even put it in the atmosphere. It took us half a season to figure it out. Figure out special teams.
Y'all figured it out, you know.
I mean, I just remember the Hampton game and hundreds of people staring at me in the crowd, screaming, "Fix special teams!" Like I just couldn't stand it.
Ooh, Ron Jab from the other side says 24-13 fam.
He doesn't live in the real world.
MEAC Mike says 28-14 Howard.
You mean Banks?
Banks. It's definitely Banks.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely, MEAC Markham.
Who's putting Go Dogs? Who are the dogs?
That's Alabama A&M. Jay White.
Oh. Wrong conversation.
Yeah, definitely. Y'all had your shot. Y'all don't answer the phone either, but I'm not gonna get into that. I'm just trying to help y'all players out. That's all. God is good. Yeah, that's all good.
Ooh, 35-17, FAMU.
Y'all, I would like to hear your rationale behind that score. That's all. I would like. I don't mind it. I just want to hear your rationale. Like, what makes you think?
Now, I think it'll be a low scoring game, G. But I think it'll be. When I say low scoring, I'm thinking mid 40s. You know what I'm saying? Total, something like, or you know what I'm saying, mid to high 40s, under 50. But I'm thinking something like 28-24 or 28-21 or 27-24. I don't know.
I don't know. These offenses produce.
Yeah,
right?
and I know the defenses are good, but I've seen in these
offenses are explosive.
I've seen these celebration bowls where these defenses have kind of been gun shy a little bit at times.
Ooh, Doc saying 34-20.
Yeah, he's out. Doc got a lot of hate in his heart. He
said how about 14 though. So
yeah, he did. So
well, I'm gonna be at the practice on Friday, so I just want to see. I gotta get an idea. If I can get an idea what they're gonna do.
All right.
Yeah. I think Coach Alley most scoring.
We're having a send-off for the team on Wednesday. So
I think I'll be there for that.
Yeah. We did it for basketball too.
I stand on business.
All right. Let me before we get ready to get up out of here. I know we got two orders of business. But G, let me ask this: Aeneas Award, Aeneas Williams Award update. Have y'all sent out the finalists yet, or have y'all set a date?
Finals will drop tomorrow. Tomorrow afternoon.
Oh, that's a good timing.
Yeah, tomorrow afternoon.
Okay, I'll make sure I have to.
Yeah, you should be getting the email. You should be on the list.
Yeah. We on there. Get that. And I appreciate that because I also get the Paycom Jim Thorpe stuff and was getting that for the week. So I was like, okay, here we go.
Yeah, I got you. Listen, I'm here to help, bro. Just here to help.
I know you can't necessarily talk a lot about it. I'm just gonna say, and I know I'm a little biased. I need Jordan Toles on that list in this finalist. I know you can't. You ain't got an answer. Just wink your eye. But
I'm just gonna say the 3 guys we picked for finalists those were the best guys.
Yeah, very, very deserving, huh?
Yeah. Like when y'all see it, you're gonna be like, okay. Like,
hey, appreciate that. Definitely appreciate that, Miriam.
Much appreciated. Yeah, y'all gonna love the
You came on a good night because we definitely got some foolishness for you. You should have came last week. We were talking. Thursday we did the gifts, giving out all the gifts to the team. Yeah.
Just duality, man. Ain't nothing wrong with a little duality.
Can y'all? I just posted in the private chat the modern day party link for those who.
Yes, let me throw this in here.
It wouldn't let me post it in the main comments, so.
Yeah. I was trying to get it from Josh, and and that's on me. I was trying to get the flyer, but I didn't do it in enough time because I know I fell asleep. So, yeah, go check it out. Erica, tell them about the day party before I tell a lie.
Yeah, no, it's gonna start. Usually, for whatever reason, I guess there's not many moves right after the Celebration Bowl, so we're gonna be at Slush ATL. It's not too far from Mercedes-Benz. Black-owned restaurants, so supporting Black-owned businesses. We'll have a DJ. I think it's DJ Kid Fresh, I believe. And a lot of media personalities, coaches, ADs, listeners to HBCU Nightly, and all of our other really cool shows will be in the building. So if you want to come and meet us, have a drink, dance a little bit, get your little two-step on, come to Slush, the modern day party. It's $20. And they serve food, drinks, great music. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was it. I fell asleep on the job. Now I fell asleep before the job. I went to sleep. I'm telling y'all, man, it was rough. It was rough. But before we get ready to wrap up, I do as we wrap up, man, I want to give major shout outs to Coach Thornton, Don Thornton, and UAPB. They had a big win last week against SMU, and then on yesterday had the huge upset of Arkansas. Got Arkansas fans talking about disbanding the women's basketball program.
They talking about not spending any more of their athletic budget on the women's.
I've never heard somebody so mad. Hey, our non-melanated brothers in Arkansas were talking about defund the program. So,
yeah, shout out to Gordon though, man. Big win.
Yeah, it was huge win. And she just continues to do it, man. They almost caught North Texas slipping, man. They had them in the fourth, and then they 1 or 2, ball bounced the opposite way 1 or 2 times. But major shout out to them. But before we go, y'all know we like to do. Miss Erica, go ahead and tell the people where they can find you and all your other important information.
So you can follow me at ERLEE0217. I co-host HBCU Nightly every Wednesday. I do guest spots here on Golden Boot and inside the HBCU Sports Lab and some other shows. So here to talk Howard football. And also I want to shout out the Golden Boot because you guys were the first show to ever let me come on and speak and talk about Howard football at the beginning of this season. And so I'm very thankful for that. And, from that interview, I told y'all I thought we was going to have a good go of it. And now here we are at the end. So I'm looking forward to coming back, hopefully with a Howard victory after Saturday. So y'all follow me. It's a lot of fun. My timeline is a lot of fun. So let's great.
Hey, she definitely had people in their feelings. I forget what was that after the North Carolina Central win. You had people. No.
After the Morgan win, after the Central win, yeah.
That Morgan.
A troll.
That Morgan week was classic though, man.
Oh yes.
They're not our rivals though.
Nah, they rival with Towson.
No, they're not.
All right, G, go ahead, Tom.
Bro, I asked my pops, man. He was on the first team to play Towson, so they're not rivals. He despises that. So
he's in denial. G, but go ahead. The first step.
Oh man, but nah. I'm always gonna shout out draft HBCU players, on Instagram, on Twitter. Love the platform. We're building something it's very organic. We genuinely want to help programs highlight their players, highlight their best players, highlight their pro ready guys. For me personally, it's just been you can find me on Coach_Huggins Jr. I do work with the Shrine Bowl. I'm a scout with the Shrine Bowl, so I talk about Sunbelt a lot. Aeneas Williams Award, Jim Thorpe Award. So I just talk a lot about, not just HBCU football, but football in general. But for the most part, I think all my social media handles are the same. So it's either Gerald Huggins something or Huggins. I have nothing to hide, so you can find me on Gerald. You put Gerald Huggins on any social media platform, I should be there somewhere. But yeah, man. Once again, fellas, y'all, I appreciate y'all. I was just telling Malik, man, y'all like our biggest supporters, man. Like, a lot of people don't even be posting our stuff, man. I ain't gonna go on no crazy rant, but a lot of HBCUs do not post our stuff. So for the ones that do in the space, I appreciate y'all a lot. We need it. So that's why anytime you hit me up, if you need me to come on the show, I got you. So both of y'all, just hope y'all realize that I got nothing but love for y'all boys, man. For real.
Hey, appreciate it, man. I'm wipe these tears before I come back. Oh, we back.
Checking the mail, bro, for sure.
Yeah. Man, I don't think we got anything else. Definitely want to tell everybody, appreciate y'all for tuning in. Chuck say he loves HBCU Nightly.
It's getting rowdy right now. These last couple episodes.
North Carolina Central people, hot.
It's always a good time though.
I mean, Central brought their whole band, all them people. Had an invitation, the MEAC Championship Trophy, invitation to the Celebration Bowl. Great.
Good shot.
And you got anything else before we get up out of here?
Nah, man, that's all I got.
All right. Well, we'll be back
on this weekend, Erica.
We'll miss you guys.
Word, I ain't gonna lie, y'all not being there is crazy. But
yeah, that's that. I'll tell you about it, G.
I got you.
All right, but definitely.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, appreciate y'all for tuning in.
I got you.
And like that, we out. This show was presented by BetOnline.ag.
Bring me my money.